guys, welcome back to my kitchen. But in case this is the first time you're stopping by, my name is Gina and I am a wife and mother from the Midwest, and I like to cook my family dinner, obviously, so they can eat food and film the recipes and post the videos here on YouTube. Today we're going to be making Hoisin tofu cups, which are one of my favorite vegan dishes. Those of you who know me know I am like a super huge tofu fan. I love it. I never thought I would be a tofu fan, but when we were vegan for like 7 months, I just got hooked on the stuff. It is delicious, and as long as you prepare it correctly, it is nothing like what people will describe it to you as. So I guess without further ado, let's jump right in. This is a super simple recipe. It's going to be ready and on the table in probably under 20 minutes, and it has minimal ingredients. So because we eat a lot of food in our house, I'm going to be making a double batch. So we're going to be using this Nature's Soy tofu. This is the only one that I really like. It's extra firm, and it's actually already been pressed to remove most of the water, so it's not jello-y. This is a very firm, solid tofu, which I guess you could say is meaty in texture, but I don't consider tofu to be a meat substitute. It's totally its own thing, and like, don't go eating it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be like Hoisin chicken. Like, no, it's not. It's Hoisin tofu, and it's delicious, and just like it for what it is. So 2 packages of tofu. I'm going to be using this jarred Hoisin sauce. This is the Kikkoman brand. This is the only one I've tried. It is delicious. I don't know about the other ones. I'm going to be using some cornstarch to coat our tofu. And then the only other things that we need are some green onions, or scallions if you're fancy, and some peanuts, or you could use cashews, but use roasted or toasted nuts, because the raw ones I think would be a weird texture. You just want to add a little crunch to it. And then for our lettuce cups today, I'm going to be using romaine lettuce because that's what I happen to have on hand. But these are really delicious with that living butter lettuce, the little head that has the little, this looks really appropriate, the little ball of roots on the bottom, the living butter lettuce. That works really great as well. Or you could use like those endive ones, but it's up to you what kind of lettuce you want to use. And then I'm going to be serving it with asparagus, so that's why I have it here on the side. We're going to have some fruit and some asparagus, but like literally this is all we need. So I'm going to go ahead and get things chopped up. I am not going to be doing a prep section because all we're going to do is cube the tofu, slice these on a bias, and wash some lettuce cups. Like, it's literally that easy, people. So I will be back when we're ready to fry up our tofu. Okay, so I actually opted out of doing 2 packages of tofu. That would have been enough for us to have dinner and 2 lunches tomorrow, but I don't want to fry 2 batches of it because I'm feeling lazy. So this is just 1 package of tofu, and I cut it up into little cubes. You could do it smaller or bigger based on your preference, but this is all right. And then to the bowl here, I have added, I would say about 2 tablespoons, like 2 big spoons of cornstarch. Are you okay? Yeah? Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and mix this up. Make sure everybody is nice and separated. Tofu does take a while to fry to get crispy, so keeping that in mind, yes, smaller pieces would be cuter in your cups, but you're going to have to flip them and flip them and flip them to make sure all the sides get crispy, and that might get annoying. So I think this is a nice size. They look like Turkish Delight, don't they? All right, so those are well coated. We have our green onions chopped up here. I mean, they're just in like a large bias slice. We're going to put most of these in at the very end and then use a couple for the garnish. And then I've got our lettuce chopped up over here. And they're in like various sizes of leaf, but like we're going to fill them and eat them like this, like a taco. So this looks like a good size. But I mean, there's some on the inside that are smaller. So I've just got these soaking in some nice cool water. And as a side note, if you do plan to serve this as like an appetizer or like some type of like a nosh, if people are coming over, you can make white rice or steamed rice, and then you would add that to the cups. So you do the lettuce, a layer of steamed rice, and then the Hoisin chicken or Hoisin tofu on top. So that way it's more of a complete meal. But since we're doing asparagus on the side, I'm not doing any rice today, and I am rambling. So I will be back when I have a freaking fry pan full of hot oil. Okay, so I have our tofu in a non-stick pan, which is pretty important for this because the tofu sticks easily. So I've done it in like a stainless steel pan, but you have to put way too much oil in there. And if you're trying to eat some tofu, you're probably trying to be a little bit on the healthy side. So you don't need to be like drinking like 3 gallons of oil. So anyways, I am using avocado oil today because it has a high smoke point. So I do not recommend using olive oil because it will burn, and it also has a strong flavor. So use vegetable oil or avocado oil. And then I put maybe about like a tablespoon and a half in there because we don't really need much oil. Like the tofu, sorry, my children are being like crazy. The tofu will crisp up on its own. You could also bake it if you wanted to. So anyways, I have about a tablespoon and a half of oil in here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to fry this and flip it around. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like after it's done. Our tofu is about halfway done. I just flipped it for the first time. So as you can see, it's like crunchy on the sides that we flipped over. And a bunch of them will stick together. You're gonna kind of have to take like a spoon or a fork and separate them. And that's because of the cornstarch. So you do want to kind of let it go till it looks nice and brown, which takes a while. So I'd say I probably left it for 3 minutes. Our tofu is nice and crispy now. As you can see, it's a little bit over crispy because this is real life, and one of my children pissed on the floor while I was making this video. So I burned one side of the tofu, but it'll still be good because it'll just be nice and crunchy. So I don't know if you can hear it. They're crunchy. So we're just gonna go ahead and, what are you doing? Get away from the garbage can, Olivia. Olivia. I swear, I am being tested today. We're going to go ahead and just dump in some hoisin sauce. I like to kind of clear a spot in the pan so I can just see how much I'm putting. We'll start with that. It's probably like 1/3 of a cup. And we're going to let it get hot. And if you've never had hoisin sauce, I would compare it to like an Asian barbecue sauce. Now we're going to go ahead and mix it up, and we're going to need to add more, it looks like. Yep, we'll add a little bit more. I think your daddy's home. Yep, daddy's home. Hang on, Daniel. Okay. And sorry guys, this video is super crazy. Let's put it back on the charger and not burn our fingers. Alright, so just continue to mix it around. Until it's well coated, because we don't really want to add like enough hoisin so it's swimming in it, because our tofu will get a little bit soggy. So this looks kind of good. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a shake. I'm going to fry this for a second and I will be back. Alright, I am resituated, I promise. So, we're going to go ahead and add our green onions to the pan. I fried this just for a second because this hoisin sauce is actually rather sweet. So, when you fry it on a high heat, it will caramelize a little bit. So, it'll like relend some of its crunch to the crunch that we lost on the tofu from adding a liquid to it. And now we're going to add our green onions. And I'll add almost all of them. Save a little bit to put on the top. And then I'm going to be adding, I have half of a cup here, but we'll see. Yeah, no, we're just going to need about 1/4 cup of peanuts since this is just one package. And then those are skills, people. I'm on the phone with a phone charger connected, flipping some shit. And then at this point, if you want more hoisin sauce, you can add more. It's totally up to you. But this looks pretty good. I've got my asparagus that came out looking great. Today I just did it with a little bit of garlic powder, some black pepper, some salt, and a bunch of fresh Parmesan cheese, and then I threw it in the oven nice and hot for 10 minutes. This looks pretty good. I will serve a little bit of extra of this on the side for dipping in case we want to, but I will be back when it's plated up. So, I already took a bite of one. I probably should have not done that before I started the video. So this is what it looks like. It's just like a little lettuce cup boat. So you'll pick it up like a taco and eat it. And what is the verdict, Daniel?
Delicious.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Really good.
The children are not eating it. They're just eating baby food. So in any case, these are our Hoisin tofu cups. I hope you enjoyed my recipe. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe. It helps me out. I want to get to my first goal of 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great night.
Good night.
You're not going to say nothing, Fifi?
Fifi?
She's so mad.